everyone, welcome back. And I'm Jen, and we are going to do a whip and chat. And I'm working on Santa and Tree by Diamond Art Club. This is for the collab that Lizzie's World of Gems and I have been sorely neglecting. For it's the hashtag mistletoe DP along. And I really do apologize that we have not been doing very good with this mistletoe DP along. So I'm going to work on this for a while I sit and talk and chat. And but first, I want to say Merry Christmas. Um, I hope everyone is going to have a. I hope everyone has a great Christmas. Our Christmas is going to be quiet. Yeah, I went Christmas shopping last week, and the good thing was I was expecting to have to get a lot, but my kids, the kids basically told me they didn't really want a whole lot, and I was like, okay, are you sure? And they were like, yeah. So I got what they asked for, or yeah, something in that along the lines of that. I mean, there's a couple things that um, they didn't ask for that I got, but yeah, Miranda didn't really want anything. She asked for coloring pencils because she wants to start to color again, and um, I also told her to start watching some YouTube creators that are that are colorist. So, and I don't know if she's done it yet because I figured that would help her a little bit. And so I didn't get her a coloring book. I couldn't find her one that I thought she would like. So we're I think we're pretty set. We'll see. It just really all depends on you know how the day goes, but we don't really plan to do anything. We're just, I did get the the Hobbit trilogy movies, and we're gonna watch those. So um, that's probably what we're gonna watch. Christmas Day or Christmas Eve. I haven't decided yet, and the kids haven't decided yet. It's just kind of up in the air right now, so we'll see. But yeah, but our Christmas is going to be quiet. It usually is, and especially now. Last year it was quiet. Just we don't. I'm gonna be honest. We don't go anywhere, and I don't go in. We don't really. I mean, we don't go out of the house that much anyway, and so um, this year we're just kind of gonna do the same thing we do anyway. But yeah, so it's gonna be a pretty quiet Christmas. It's just gonna be me, the kids, and that's about it. And Miranda's boyfriend. So Miranda came home today for Christmas. She, even though she lives, took 30 minutes away, but she's here until Sunday, and that's really, there's really nothing really exciting happens around here on Christmas. That to be truthful, and I don't expect that anything will, and which is good. But yeah, that's really we're kind of boring people. Truthfully, no. So yeah, but that's pretty much what's going to happen around here. And then now New Year's we don't do a whole lot either. So, which is I'm too old to stay up now and watch the New Year end because I don't do that much anymore. I used to be able to stay up like that, but now if I do, I end up falling asleep. So yeah, that's not gonna happen. But anyway, so let's see what has been going on this week and last week. Well, last week, nothing much except for Christmas shopping. there really didn't much. I mean, there really wasn't much going on. I didn't do. Um, mm, there wasn't a whole lot going on, and to be truthful, I didn't write anything down again. I always forget to do that. Don't ask me why. Um, I've been trying to get organized for this coming year because I have a couple of stitching, sales that I'm doing, that I'm participating in. I'm hosting one. It's called Full Coverage SAL 2022 for cross stitch, and I have been trying to get kind of organized. My happy planner and stuff, trying to get my stitching, happy planner straight. And other than that, not really a whole lot. My best friend did give me a Cricut. She got a new one from her stepmother, and she gave me her old one. So I just need to get a cord for mine, and that's going to be one of the things I have on my list for what I need to get. But really, nothing a whole lot that has really been too exciting going on. Little dude's just ready for glad that school's out and it's Christmas vacation, and um I am kind of, in a way, um just because he's been kind of saying school is stressful, and he's been not stressing, but I can tell that it's bugging him a little, and he's kind of it's kind of rubbing off on me. And yeah, so I think he needs this vacation. So we'll see. I don't know. Now he did pretty good the last couple, for the last couple weeks. He's been getting some really good grades, and part of it, now they send me a progress report every week because it's online schooling through their school, and through this program through the school. They've been sending me, progress reports, and he's been getting very stressed about, the grades. A couple of the his grades are not, you know, what I feel is, to me it doesn't bother me, I guess. To him, it does, sort of, because he's like stressing out about it. And I asked him, I said, son, don't stress. But mom, my grades. And I'm like, sweetheart, it's okay, and he's like, but I know this stuff. And but he does. And he answers the questions, but I don't. And I realized, like today, he was showing me um, I'm not sure if it was a quiz or what it was, but he was showing me, he came out, it was for history, and I think it was no, it was his quiz. He had a quiz to take, and he came out and he was like, Mom, I don't understand what this is. And I said, what do you mean? And it was a question about Buddhism and how, I guess, Buddhism started. And I looked at him and I was like, okay. And I said, do you remember? And he says, Mom, I don't even remember reading this. So, he didn't want to get it wrong, which I can't say I blame him. And he was having a time. So he and I kind of cheated. I Googled it and I looked it up, and we found the answer. And of course, now there was another thing I never knew that, never knew what this was called, never heard of it before. It's called an ellipse. And there's two different things to it. There's one in math and there's one in writing. Now, I'm sitting there and I'm looking at it. I'm like, what? Because the one that, when I Googled it, it came up with the math thing with the math, what it was in math. And I was like, okay. And he looks at me and he says, I said, hold on. So I punched in, writing, and it came up. And what it is, and I did not know this, there's three like periods, and it's basically where these three periods are in a sentence, and it's called an ellipse, which I never heard of it. Believe me, I had no clue that this was even a thing. And I looked at him and I said, okay. So he, figured it out. And he came back out like 15 or maybe like 5 minutes later or whatever. And he says, Mom. I said, what? And he says, I passed. I said, you did? He says, yes. I said, all right, good for you. He got 100%. So he was really, really happy. And, which I was too. I gave him a high five and I said, good for you. And he looked at me and he was like, and I said, well, how many more assignments do you have? And he told me most of them are quizzes that he asked to retake because he didn't feel comfortable with the grades that he got. So his teachers are letting him retake it. And, they told him, just get them done. You're not, there's not a deadline. Just, do them and get them, turned in. And so he's not stressing now, which is a good thing. But I can tell he really, really needed, he needs this break, which is kind of a good thing because he's very, very, I don't want to say sensitive. Why won't this come off? He's not, I don't want to say sensitive, but he does have his moments. And I can tell when he gets very, very frustrated. So we're taking it slowly. And I'm telling him not to rush, which he has a habit of doing that. So we'll see. I told him, I said, you got a whole week and a half to kind of just relax, and you don't have to worry about, doing everything in one fail, swoop, jump, whatever. And he just looks at me and he's like, but what about these assignments? And I said, we can get them turned in. We can do, a little bit every day. It's no big deal. And he's like, okay. And so I told him today, I said, just relax and, we'll deal with it when you're kind of not, when you're, whatever you call it. We'll start over in the morning. There you go. That's what I wanted to say. So that's basically all we've really, really done this week. Now this week I've been working. I started working yesterday, and I was kind of already working, but I wasn't getting paid. So now because they had given me more responsibility when they decided they needed my help, and or wanted me to do basically kind of secretarial work for them, for my boss. And now I have a couple other people that I am going to be setting appointments for, making appointments for, whatever. And so now I'm going to be paid. So I'm just waiting to, I'm not waiting. I had to go and buy a planner because I'm going to tell you, I don't use the Google planners or the Google calendar. I don't do digital. If it's not written down, I don't deal with it. So I went and got a new planner from Happy Planner and got that taken care of. And little dude said, "Mommy, I want to give you this for Christmas." So that was his, those, I got two of them. So he got me those for Christmas. So I'm all set up, and I'm just, kind of, um, right now, just kind of, learning, trying to figure, trying to, excuse me, I think I need something to drink. Mm. Kind of, feeling my way around everybody and what I need to do for each person, and kind of, trying to figure out, how each person works so that I can figure it out and have it, figure out where and what I need to do and so forth. And it's not bad. Um, I didn't, of course, now I didn't finish work until almost 7 o'clock last night, but um, I was really, really, it went really good yesterday. So we shall see. But I haven't got my license yet. I'm still working on that. And they are also going to, kind of go ahead and start letting me sit in some of the appointments, so that way I can kind of get a feel of what I, will do or need to do when, after I get my license. I don't have to say anything. I just have to sit there, which is fine. So, but yeah, I'm, we're here. We're kind of just moving along and so forth. And um, I did finish. Let's see. I'm all discombobulated, so you're all gonna see me. Probably see my legs, and I'm sorry. Um, I did get some reading done. I started reading. I finished reading. Um, it's called The Midnight Lock, and it's by Jeffrey Deaver. And let me tell you something. That was a really, really good book. Um, I, of course, I always liked Jeffrey Deaver in the first place, but I hadn't really read many of his. I've listened to them, but I've never really actually sat down and read them. And so, from the time I opened the book until I ended the book, it was nonstop, um, action, trying to figure out, who the the killer was, and all this stuff. And it was really good. I mean, oh my goodness. It's got, the character is Lincoln Rhyme, and his wife Amelia, and it's really good. It was kind of just, nonstop. Let's see, what else did I read. I've read so many in the last couple of days. I think I've read 10 books over the month, but I can't, to sit here and tell you what they are right off the top of my head is a really good question, and I don't have my phone over here to look on my Goodreads. Um, mm, let's see. There were some that I couldn't read. I mean, I've read them and I just couldn't get into them. There were a couple that I just wasn't really, really thrilled with, because they just, I don't know. I, I mean, granted, they sounded really good, and but after sitting here and, starting to read them, I couldn't get into them. There was a couple that I was really, really, interested in reading, and I couldn't do it. It was like, okay, they just didn't say, they just didn't seem to appeal. I don't know if that's the word I want to say, but it just, I don't know. I don't know if it was, me or what. I don't know if my favorite genres are changing again. I don't know. But I just couldn't get into some of them, and which is odd because I really, really like mostly all kinds except for romance. I know. I don't. You're all thinking, why don't you like a romance novel? I used to like romance novels. Now, forget it. Can't. I'm just not. I can sit there and look at him and I'll be like, okay, no. So, I mean, granted, the synopsis and everything sounds really good, but I'm just not into it. Don't know why. I have no idea. So, I I don't know. I've got one that I'm reading now, and I'll see how it turns out. There's I have a whole bunch I need to read. Guys, let me tell you. You just don't know. I hope I have enough space on my Kindle. I don't know how much space my Kindle can take. Um, but I usually try to when I'm done, delete them or archive them so that way, you know, but and I don't know if you can get more space on your Kindle. I have no clue. I don't know if I need to buy a a different kind of Kindle that has more space. I don't know. So I have no idea. I still, I have the Nook app too, which I've been kind of using that. I have a couple books on there that I need to read too. But yeah, I've been doing that and stitching. Like I said earlier, I've been organizing to get ready for uh, the new year, and we have one of my groups that I'm in, which is Magical Stitches. They have started the Amanda Lee books called, the first one's called The Quick and the Thread, and I got that the other day, no, not the other day, a couple weeks ago. So I've got that one ready to go, and really excited about reading those to see what all the big hype is, because there's a lot of people that have said they really, really like them. So we'll see. Um, and I've just been trying to get, stuff organized in my planner and ready for next year so that I can, use them, try to stay organized. Um, it's really hard because I can't seem to find a system for my planner that works for stitching. I I don't know. I don't know if I need to I don't know. I might have to just sit down one day and just kind of go through and say, okay, what am I doing wrong? I might be overthinking it. I usually do. I usually do that. I usually overthink things. Don't ask me why, but I do. I'm one of these ones that likes to overthink things really badly, and I just don't want to. Um, I just don't want it to make it like it's work, even though it's nice to be organized. And I know a lot of people use digital stuff, and I did have a digital planner from the girl that runs the 24 hours of cross stitch planner uh, group, and I didn't use all of it. I used some of it. Now I might do that this year. Might take some of the pages from there and use the digital ones that I have. But um, it's just, I don't know. Maybe it's just me being quote anal, and I'm not an anal person, but I don't know. Maybe now that I've tried learned how to get organized with work, personal life, and planner wise, maybe I don't know. Who knows? I mean, I'm strange that way, and I'm just going to figure it out. So, and I've also been trying to be a little more creative when it comes to decorating my planner pages. And I have decided this year, this coming year, I'm going to, try to um, make my plan with me is a little more fun or whatever, and whatever, educational, whatever you call it, and try to make my videos a little more fun. I don't know. And try to be a little more, not that I'm not fun now, because I know some people have told me, some subscribers have kind of been disappointed because, oh yeah, I sigh too much, or I never sound like I'm in a good mood. And so I don't know. Maybe now that I'm working and I don't feel so stressed all the time, we'll see. I can't make any promises that it's going to happen overnight, because it's not. But we will see. We'll see what happens. I promise. I'm working on it. I promise. But so, trying to think what else has got going on. Goodness, you know what? I'm gonna tell you, I'm a boring person. This is a boring household sometimes. Sometimes we don't have a whole lot to talk about in here. Um, oh, I am gonna start the story time videos back, and I will be doing. I think what I'm gonna do when I do that is make it. It's still gonna be story time, but I might alternate between diamond painting and cross stitching. I haven't decided what, how I'm going to do that yet. Where I'm going to do it. I can't do it here because sitting here kind of, when I'm sitting over top of the drafting table with my cross stitch is kind of, but we'll figure it out. I haven't really decided, when, how that's going to work. And I haven't decided what day either. So, I'll let you know. If I don't let y'all know next week, I will let you know before the new year starts. But, yeah, I had a lot of people ask me to do that again. So, I will be doing that again. And, getting, starting that up, which I look forward to doing that. So, oh, let's see. Oh my goodness, I feel bad because I didn't write a list down, and I'm so, uh, um, mm. Everybody else is fine. Justin is doing good. He's kind of, disappointed that he has to work on Christmas Eve. But I think he said he only has to work till like 7, I think is what he said. I'm not sure. He didn't really, come out and say. Um, so, and if he did, he, he probably said it in passing and I didn't pay attention. But, which, when he mumbles, that's another thing. He mumbles like you wouldn't believe. So sometimes I don't hear him. And, I've kind of had to make him repeat himself. And when he does, he gets kind of irritated with me. And I told him one day, I said, well, if you didn't mumble so much, I would definitely be able to hear you. So, yeah, he's doing good. He's he likes, I don't want to say, I mean, he likes his job, but there are some people there that he just can't stand. Now, one of them, he went to see on Friday. He went to see the new Spider-Man movie. Now, there's two stories to this. Okay. Now, I don't remember if I told you all this. I can't remember. And of course now my drill doesn't want to come off my freaking pen. But anyway, I told you all. I can't remember if I told you this story or not. Justin bought a Spider-Man costume. Now, I didn't know what he was going to do with this Spider-Man costume. And anyway, he bought it, and I thought it was for Halloween. So I was like, he was all excited because he ran to the mailbox to get his package. He was all excited, and I was like, dude. And he says, what? And I said, what in the world? And he says, it's my costume. I was like, what? He says, remember I told you I was getting the Spider-Man costume. Okay. Now, I thought he was getting it for Halloween. No. Nope. And I said, Halloween's over. He says, I know. Well, what is it for? He went to see the Spider-Man movie. The new one that just came out on Friday. Now, mind you, I was just like, okay, what do you need the costume for? Why? What? He says, I'm going to wear it. I said, what? He ended up wearing it to the movie theater. And mind you, I was like, oh my God. Well, he decided when he got it, he was going to try it on. I thought, oh boy. So I'm sitting here, and he comes out in just the mask on, and I about died. I'm telling you guys, I started laughing my butt off. I was like, oh my gosh. I laughed so hard that I was crying. So then he goes back into his room, comes back out in the whole costume. And needless to say, the costume was very skin tight. Okay? That's all I'm saying. And I just looked at him and I said, oh my God. And I just died. And he was like, what? And I was like, oh my God, this is just awkward. And it was hilarious. You had to be here. And if I thought about it, I would have recorded it. But it was funny. I just died. And he wore it. And he didn't say anything to me about what, if he got any flack for it at the movie theater or not. I'm assuming he didn't, because he came home in regular clothes, but I'm assuming he didn't have an issue. And yeah. And I just turned around and I looked at him when he tried it on, and I said, you're 20 years old. Why? And he was like, why not? And I'm like, okay. Okay, whatever. And so anyway, it was funny. He just totally laughed, and I just, let me tell you. Now he said the movie was good. He said it was sad. He cried. Or actually, he didn't cry, but yeah, he said it was sad. There was a part in there that was kind of sad, and he didn't tell me what it was. Of course, it really wouldn't have mattered if he did or not because I don't watch Spider-Man. I don't like Spider-Man. Um, but yeah, he said there was a part in there that was kind of, tugging at the heartstrings, and um, I was like, okay, and yeah, it was a good movie. I don't think I'll watch it, but he said it was a good movie, and I'll take his word for it. So, um, but yeah, he enjoyed it. So let's see, what else can I talk about before I my brain turns to mush because I can't even remember what the other part of the story was I wanted to tell you. To be truthful, Jennifer, I try not to forget these things. I need to start writing this stuff down. That's another thing I'm going to do this year is make sure I start writing stuff down so that I can tell you, so that, y'all don't feel like I'm just like flying by the seat of my pants. Um, hmm, hmm, hmm. Let's see. There's really not a whole lot to tell you guys. The fun part is I get to go to the grocery store tomorrow. Yay. I got to get stuff for the week, and I'm not really looking forward to shopping during Christmas because I don't like going shopping in Christmas for, Christmas shopping or, um, you know, in general. It's just depressingly stressful. I mean, and some people just don't care when they're in there shopping, and it's it's kind of ridiculous because Friday, and this is an example. Friday, we were at Target, and Miranda was with me, and we weren't doing anything. We were just standing there, and this woman, I don't know what she was trying to do or what her issue was because we weren't even really in her way. We were standing there minding our own business, and there wasn't anybody there at the book count, the book department where the books are in Target when we got there. So I just kind of looked at her and I was like, okay. So we were just standing there minding our own business in the excuse me, in the book department in Target. And she was, we were looking at the books, trying to figure out which one it was that little dude wanted. And all of a sudden, I heard Miranda scream, "Ow!" And I happened to look, and I turned around. Well, before I could even really turn around and look in her direction, all I heard, and I quote, excuse the language, was, "You need to get the fuck out of my way." And I turned around and I was like, what the hell? This woman literally bumped into her for no reason. She bumped her cart into her. And now, mind you, again, we weren't even in the middle of the aisle. We were not in anybody's way. And I turned around and I looked at her. Now, Miranda's been diagnosed with, really, really bad anxiety. And so we were going to her therapist right before, right after Target. And I could tell that her anxiety was starting to spike. So, this woman just was just being like really, really ignorant. And so I grabbed Miranda and I said, let me get this and then we're going. Because, I wasn't trying to have my daughter have an anxiety attack in the middle of Target. And the woman just stood there. And I felt like turning around and telling her just where she could go with that cart or what she could do with that cart. But I didn't because I was more worried about my daughter than anything. And you know, whatever. I could have probably gotten away with it, but I didn't. And, you know, like I said, I am not a confrontational person. So it was kind of like, okay, um, I was just, like I said, more worried about my daughter than anything, because I didn't want her to have a real bad anxiety attack and, you know, flip out, and, you know, then, you know, it wouldn't be good anyway. So we got out of there, and she turned around and she looked at me after we got into the car, and she says, "What is wrong with people?" And I said, "It's Christmas season and people are going to be ignorant." So we got her out, and she's okay. But so that's really all that's been going on this week. I told you, not a lot's been going on. Um, it's just been crazy, crazy, crazy. So I'm getting ready to stop, and but before I do, please make sure you watch my Christmas premiere that is scheduled for Christmas Eve at 4 p.m. Eastern, and you know, you guys come in and chat. If I'm not able to be in the chat, in there, one of my mods will be in there to, you know, uh, make sure, you know, everybody is doing okay and what have you. And all the events that are happening next week that I'm hosting or so forth. The Long Dog Sampler, which is the Long Dog Along, and that's hashtag. That starts January the 1st also. My full coverage SAL 2022 starts January the 1st also. There is a couple other things. If you're not in my cross stitch group, which is Cross Stitching Sisters, um, we are doing a year long event where we're going to do a different, uh, every month, it's going to be something that has to do with sisterhood, which, you know, like if you have a sister, how, you know, it's all kind of in there. But, excuse me, that's, trying to think of anything else. There's the 2022 Stash Be Gone that Amanda Stokes is hosting. There is a Facebook group, I do believe. Trying to think of anything else. And if I miss something else, you guys can tell me. Because I probably have, and uh, it's it's hard to remember everything. That's really it. Now, after the holiday and after probably next week, everything will go back to normal, as in video wise and so forth. I'm going, if I cannot record, I, depending on, I have to like sit down and kind of figure out my hours and see what's going on because my hours vary. I will be posting videos. They will remain on schedule. I just don't know exactly. Yeah. So that's all I got today, guys. I really appreciate you watching. If you have liked, you know, the video and you're not subscribed, please make sure that you do subscribe and hit the little bell. And also, please make sure you like it. And have a great week, guys. Merry Christmas, and I will see you all next time.